Good Sunday morning, everybody. Top of the morning to you. It's a heavy fog here in Atlanta. Looking out over the neighborhood at 9:17 this morning. A little bit slow getting started. Get on up now. If you churchgoers, don't you call out on your preacher this morning. Get on up and get on out there. Enjoy your day. You non-church goers, enjoy your day also. It's another day to be alive. Let's do the morning post this morning. On this Sunday, the Lord's Day, December the 7th, a day that will live in infamy, 2025. What if Christmas is a very special time of the year? What if around Christmas time there is a small window of a vortex that opens, where magical stories come to life, the birth of a Savior, a reindeer that really can fly, a snowman that comes to life, where maybe there are millions of small vortexes that open to allow former ancestors, earthlings, to come and go. If Jesus can come and go and be in our midst, then why not others? A vortex is a whirlwind-like opening. The spirit world is also a wind. Maybe God is that vortex. I have decided this Christmas to invite all of my ancestors who are on the other side to come visit me. An open invitation going out across the universe, over the internet, to come sit a spell with me, to come say hello, to visit me this Christmas. Long gone are the days of being timid or afraid about the dead. It would be amazing to me if one morning, as I am sitting by the fire, writing, and out of nowhere, Mama or Sammy or John or one of my brothers, Jeffrey, James, or Joe, or my old former mentor, Brother Tom Burdett, or one of my aunts, Lottie, or Mary, or Betty, or Granny Bratcher, appeared and simply said, "Good morning, Eddie. Merry Christmas." I'd like to ask Sammy, what is it like over there? Maybe ask John, are the men hot in glory land? And hear them laugh one more time at just my plain old silliness. I have seen them all before at times. One time while on a train traveling across the countryside of Virginia, coming back from New York to Atlanta, the sun was setting that evening. As I looked out the window across the pastures of Virginia, I saw them all. They were all running to keep up with the train. They were waving at me. They saw me looking out the train window. I sat there and cried. Another time I was to do a funeral the next day. I was troubled about doing a funeral of a young family member who had been killed. Lying on the bed that afternoon in my house in Grant Park, alone, I drifted off into a vision, a trance. I saw them. They all stood on the side of a creek. I stood across on the other side. They spoke to me across the waters. It was my message the next day at the funeral, where hundreds had gathered, and even more had gathered outside. Jill and Savannah came by last night. Ava had made a pan of tiramisu, a dessert. When I mentioned it to Savannah, Savannah said, "We want to come and eat some." So they rode over. Jill had worked 12 hours yesterday. And then on the way back to Cabbagetown around 8:30, they was on 75 North when the shutdown happened. And they had to sit there in the car until 12 o'clock before they let the lanes start moving again. I felt bad for Jill, and then she had to get back up this morning at 6 and do another 12-hour shift. She seems to be loving her new job, though. 2026 is going to be a year to look at everything about our lives, to be open to a different kind of living, to be open to change, to be wise with our finances, to watch our money, to let go of some things. And just to be open to the flow of where life is leading us. There will be a lot of wind blowing in the year ahead. I feel that prophetic wind blowing in my spirit this morning. I send out a signal to Mama, to Granny, and them, for all of them, all of my people that I've loved over the years, to come see me this Christmas. Come sit a spell. Come say hello. When the dead visit, it is not scary. They don't show up in the middle of the night all hovering over your bed and scaring the dog mess out of you. It's not like a horror movie. It is a whiff of a scent, a chill that we feel, a hug in the spirit, something that is odd, out of place, even strange, that throws us off for a second. Or sometimes it can be bold, like the night at 3 in the morning when I was staying with my mama as she was dying at Georgia Baptist Hospital. Laying in that chair beside her bed that night with the room door closed, all of a sudden the light flipped on. I thought a nurse had opened the door and flipped the light on, but there was no nurse. Just the light came on. Odd. And then when I looked at Mama's bed, I saw my brother James and my brother Joe standing on either side of her bed. I jumped up and run down and stood at the foot of the bed. I'm like, it's about time that you two got here. There was no fear. I wasn't afraid. I stood there at the foot of her bed with my two brothers who came to stand on either side. They never said anything to me. They were both beautiful. I knew Mama was soon to go. Good Sunday morning, sweet people. We enter into a vortex around this time of year where all things are possible, you know. There may be a small opening where we can step over on the other side, or them step over to our side. It is the Christmas season where the mystical is possible. Like a baby wrapped in swaddling clothes who came to visit Earth. The picture over on my Facebook page, my Uncle Aaron back in 1973 with Pete Walter. Pete Walter lived out on the corner of Kirkwood and Ty Street all of his life. He just passed recently. My Uncle Aaron and my Aunt Shirley passed 2 or 3 years ago, both of them of COVID. Love y'all.